What is up, everybody? Matty Smackdown here, and welcome back to another episode of the Wrestling All Day podcast, the second episode of the pod. If you enjoyed the first episode, thank you, everybody who tuned in, by the way. A very big thank you to everybody who tuned in for the interview with AJ and Jalen, the Battlefield Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. 3,400 views last time I checked, and I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. None of my interviews have ever hit that high, um, and I'm grateful. I'm insanely grateful that people were ready for the return of the Wrestling All Day podcast, and that people were able to tune in and get eyes on AJ and Jalen, two boys I'm very proud of, two boys who deserve all of the love and all of the support. So thank you, everybody who helped get that video to where it's at today. I'm grateful. Best way to sum it up. I'm grateful. So today we're just gonna be kind of talking, literally just to talk, because last night I did a stream. Um, what the hell was I streaming? I don't even remember. Oh, it was the ECW House Party mod of WrestleMania 2000. I was streaming that last night, and somebody was in my chat, and we got to talking about what made me love wrestling and who the greatest talkers are in wrestling, and I mean there's a lot. There's a lot. And it really made me sit down and think of who like my favorite talkers are. I think my number one all time like talker in wrestling is Stone Cold, who this person in the chat yesterday said was uh, overrated when it comes to talking. I don't necessarily think Stone Cold was overrated when it came to talking. Um, Certainly one of the most iconic promos of all time is Austin 316. And there's been a lot of good ones in between that. Um, I really think that Stone Cold kind of set the bar for what a wrestling promo should be, at least in WWE standards. I don't know about WCW and ECW at the time, but he did good promos there too. He did great promos in WCW. He did a great promo in ECW when he debuted after he got fired from WCW. He did fantastic promos. Um, so I definitely feel like Stone Cold is my all time top talker. I'd put Stone Cold, The Rock, Bray Wyatt, and Mick Foley in my top talkers of all time, because like if you go back and look at the promos that Mick Foley used to cut, whether he was Mankind, Dude Love, or Cactus Jack, there's a lot that like people overlook. Like there's people out there that don't know ECW Cactus Jack. They know WWF WWE Cactus Jack. They don't know the Kane Dewey promo. They don't know the Uncle Eric promos. They don't know the stuff that he did in WCW and the stuff he used to do when he first started in WWE, when he was in the basement and hugging a rat. Like there was so many underrated promos for Mick Foley that I don't think people give him enough credit. People still see him as the silly guy who pulled a sock out of his sweatpants and stuffed it down people's throats. You know what I mean? Like that's what people now remember Mick Foley for. But people don't remember how great Mick Foley was on the mic. And like I said, it goes back to the thing I said last night during my stream where Ric Flair called Mick Foley a glorified stuntman. Ric Flair, first off, I don't want to hear nothing from you. You wrestled the same match. You wrestled the same match for 40 damn years. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Sit this one out. Mick Foley. I know a lot of people now don't necessarily care or agree with his political standpoint. I'm not going to get into that because that's not what we're here to do. But to say that he was just a glorified stuntman and nothing else is insane. Like, yeah, he did a lot of crazy stuff that he probably shouldn't have done because it takes its toll. And now, you know what I mean? He looks great now. Yeah, he just did a run in, I think it was in Germany. And he just did a run in GCW too. And he looked great beating up the Invisible Man. Like, if you can look that good beating up an Invisible Man, I firmly believe that Mick Foley should have had one more Rumble appearance. Just one more Rumble appearance before he called it a career. Because if I'm not mistaken, Mick Foley's last match was in what, 2012, all the way back at the Royal Rumble, and he wasn't even in a match that long. Um, But yeah, I definitely put Mick Foley in my top 5 all-time talkers. The Rock, that's just, it's The Rock. You know what I mean? Like, who else besides Stone Cold and The Rock are going to be at your top? Somebody last night said Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt had great promos. He did. Bray Wyatt had great promos. Miss Teacher Lady was a great promo. His promos down in NXT when he introduced Rowan, when he introduced Harper, great promos. His promo when he introduced Braun Strowman, great promos. His promo when he came back in 2022, which, might I add, I was there the night he came back in 2022 in Philly. Raucous crowd. Like, one of the loudest crowd reactions I've ever heard in person. And I've been to 2 WrestleManias. So for Bray Wyatt to get that big of a reaction just for taking his mask off was insane. R.I.P. Shouts out to the man himself, Bray Wyatt. Don't even get me started on how bad WWE did the Wyatt Six. Don't even get me started. They made so much money milking Bray Wyatt's death from the Wyatt Six just to fire them, release them, send them packing like pieces of garbage. Don't even get me started on the WWE and the Wyatt Six, how dirty they did them. How dirty they did a lot of these people recently. Like, if you go and watch my videos on YouTube, you'll see Maddie's mic drop, my most recent one. I kind of delve into it a little bit about them releasing literally the entire tag team division and then putting the titles on R-Truth. There's a very loud car going past my house right now. Thanks. Great. How they put the titles on R-Truth and Damian Priest, and the tag team division's dead. The tag team division in WWE is 110% dead. But yeah, man, like they did the Wyatt Six so dirty. Bray Wyatt had such good promos. And I know wrestling is 1000% subjective. For every person I just listed I said was a great promo, there's probably 10 people out there that said, well, his promos absolutely suck. And I'm sure there's 10 people out there that like promos of people that I don't think talk very good. There's people out there that like Jey Uso promos. There's people out there that love Jey Uso promos. And what the hell is a Jey Uso promo? I'ma get him, Moose. I'ma get him, Moose. I'ma get him. 4 letters. 1 word. Yeet. That's it. That's literally it. That's every Jey Uso promo since what, 2024, when he broke away from the Bloodline. Every single one of his promos has been exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. But I don't want to get on here and just bury Jey Uso. As fun as that is, I don't want to just get on here and do that. But I want to hear from y'all. Let me know what you think when it comes to talkers in professional wrestling. Who do you put in your top list? Because there's a lot of good ones. There's also a lot of bad ones. A lot of bad promos on the independent scene. Trust me, I see it firsthand. I just don't have the heart to tell these guys. Some of them very good. Some of them not so good. But, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just kind of want to get on here and talk and just kind of go over, kind of just BSing. I don't really know. I don't really know what I want to come on here and talk about. But yeah, like I said, I was streaming last night and we got on the conversation of talkers and what got me into wrestling. And the other thing that got me into wrestling is Mick Foley. Again, goes back to Mick Foley. When I was a kid, my mom and my brother had a bunch of VHSs that they let me watch. And I remember watching The Three Faces of Foley for the first time. And I fell in love. I fell in love with professional wrestling, and I fell in love with Mick Foley's style. Because he was batshit crazy. It's the best way to sum it up. Mick Foley was crazy, and I hurt my back, and I hurt everything trying to replicate what Mick Foley did back in the day. So that's what got me into wrestling. That VHS and watching the Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker with my brother and my mom. R.I.P. AJ, love you, bro. But yeah, that's what got me into wrestling. And then I guess as I got older, like I said, wrestling is 110% subjective. Excuse me. I don't know. I've kind of fallen out of love with wrestling, so to speak. Like, I still love wrestling. Like, I can look around my studio right now and it's all wrestling. I still love, going back and watching old matches, but I just can't get into the new WWE. I can't get into AEW either. I've tried. TNA, they're doing their own thing. AAA, they're doing their own thing, even though they're under WWE's umbrella now. You know what I mean? Like I can stomach watching it in small portions. Like I feel like if for the next 10 years all I watch is the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, I think I'll be okay. Because there's just absolutely nothing going on in WWE that I really enjoy right now that I care to keep tuning in for. Like Danhausen's cool. Love Danhausen. Love that Danhausen. Very nice, very evil. Love Danhausen. Love what he's doing. I don't love the fact that they're kind of making the Miz a Jarboni right now. Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of them. But Miz is at a point in his career where he can lose every match for the rest of his career and he'll be okay. He's set. I just want to see him win every now and then. You know what I mean? But yeah, love Danhausen. Love that he's in WWE. I thought Chicago tried to do him dirty in his debut when they booed him. But that's because they were expecting somebody like Chris Jericho, of all people, to come out of that box. Old-ass man Chris Jericho. 56-year-old geriatric Chris Jericho. I'm good. Keep your ass over there, bro. Keep your ass over on Wednesday nights. We're good, Jericho. We don't need you. Don't need y'all on my TV every week. But yeah, like I said, man, there's not a lot in WWE. There's not a lot in AEW that I enjoy either. Like I said, maybe it's just because I'm getting older. You know what I mean? And I just turned 29 a couple of days ago. And I think that's really what it is. I'm just getting older, and maybe wrestling now isn't the same wrestling that I fell in love with. It's clearly not. But that's okay, because there's people out there who are going to love wrestling, this generation of wrestling. People are going to look back on this 10 years from now and go, wow, that was a great time period for WWE. I'm going to disagree with them, and I'm going to continue to disagree with them. But, wrestling's at a weird point where it kind of peaked at WrestleMania 40 when Cody won the title. It's like, okay, well, how do we top this? I know how we top this. Let's bring in Travis Scott. Maybe that wasn't one of their better ideas. Damn sure wasn't one of their better ideas. But, like I said, it's just wrestling subjective. It's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. All these people arguing on social media about WWE's better and AEW's better and this is better and this guy's better. It's fucking wrestling, y'all. Chill. It's professional wrestling. It's grown men without pants running around fighting each other for a belt. Relax. We can all get along. It's okay. we really can. But honestly, yeah, like I said, not a lot going on for me right now. Independent wrestling wise, love independent wrestling. Battlefield Pro Wrestling, my home promotion. PPW, my other home promotion. Love what those guys are doing. Love what Battlefield's doing. Battlefield Pro Wrestling, based out of originally Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, owned by Alpha Anawahi, who wrestled in WWE as Manu. He was a part of Legacy. And then his father, of course, the legendary Alpha, the Wild Samoan. Then they had the Wild Samoan Training Center in Allentown. WXW disappeared for a while, went down to Florida, and now it's back home in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So big shouts out to them. Love what they're doing with WXW. Love what they're doing with the Battlefield. Love what PPW is doing. Love that Danhausen. I'm Matty Smackdown. Thank you guys for listening. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. And I will see you guys for the next one.